One of the great fortunes of the world began here on the outskirts of Tours in 17th century France. Jean-Marc Clement was a farmer, but not a very good one. Contemporaries state that with fertile land and plenty of water, he couldn't grow mud, but he didn't have to. While hoeing for potatoes, he found a chest of gold. This is thought to be the origin of the phrase, lots of potatoes. From then on, Jean-Marc farmed money. In Paris, the second Jean-Marc was the kind of man who could form a syndicate in an empty room. Balloons were the rage of France. Jean-Marc bought a balloon factory and prospered. He was a completely dedicated man, interested in balloons of every kind. He died in 1777, leaving well over 300,000 francs. The cause of death was listed as excessive interest in balloons. The third, Jean-Marc Clement, just happened to own a cannon factory. He supplied munitions for the French army. He was so fair-minded, people say he supplied the enemy also. His interests grew and grew until the day the munitions factory blew up. Unfortunately, it was one of the few mornings Jean-Marc reported to work. He left millions and was the first Clement to die vertically. The fourth Clement carried on the basic traditions of the family, which is to say, a prudent marriage plus a lively interest in balloons. This lively interest led to a duel. The result was officially listed as a tie. But Jean-Marc took a short sabbatical in New York. While there, he picked up 800 acres of property. It was in the low-rent district, then known as Wall Street. He returned to the gay life of Paris and threw his life away. His indiscretions with rich widows brought in less than 1,000,000 francs a year. The fifth Clement was a man who went first class. He liked railroads. By 1855, he owned 43 of them. And steamships. He owned a total of 19 different lines. His dash for power ended the next year when negotiations for the purchase of the Atlantic Ocean broke down. The sixth Clement was pure patriot. He pioneered the Statue of Liberty and talked to Mr. Eiffel into building some sort of sightseeing tower. At the time, Jean-Marc controlled all the steel in France. He died in 1890, leaving 400 millions. His son immediately set out to make money. He ran across a man who had some old blueprints in the attic. The basic patent rights on this notion brought a good, steady income, more than enough to cover his losses on horses and women, most of whom were quartered on a yacht called the Harem. And of course, there was the old family devotion to sightseeing towers. Jean-Marc put up 700 of them near Waco, Texas. He died mysteriously at the age of 91 aboard a yacht, Harem 3. After the usual deductions were made, he left a fortune estimated on the foreign exchange mart as $1 billion. As a guide to those in the audience who may not have $1 billion, let it be stated that the interest on $1 billion is $70,000 a week.